is here right now, but I will say the announcement straight up, just like pulling off the band aid. I am going to college next month on the 21st. So, what am I going to do when the time comes? Am I going to keep streaming? Am I going to keep drawing and keep posting? I don't know yet. I probably will either stream less and less or just not stream at all, or I keep doing the way I'm already doing, which is streaming once a week. But I don't know. Truly, I don't know until then. Am I going to still draw? I hope I get the time to still draw. I'm only like signing up. Well, not signing up. I only decided to do two classes because those two classes I need to do so I can unlock. I'm say unlock, but so then I can do the other classes that I need to do. The other classes that I need to achieve. Oh my god. Sorry. There's a Noelle. Sorry. She she tends to get up here. Now there's two of them. Look, there's two Noelles because they clone themselves. But I made the cloning limit to only four. It was originally to like what 50, and I don't want that to destroy my laptop. So I made it all the way down to four for both pulling up CMG and actual cloning. So anyway, that is me ripping off the band-aid. I hope I can still draw and make content. If I can't make content as consistently as I would like to, just know that I would still probably make content here and there. I just probably won't stream as much. Not that I get many views on streaming, anyways, but it's not, hard to actually say anything to anyone. Because, and you're probably wondering why not shouldn't I just make a regular video about it? Because that is going to take a whole lot of work and I just don't want to. I don't like the sound of my voice anyway. So, yeah. Plus I know people can simply go back to regular videos as well. But people can simply go back to this whenever they want, regardless if it's just wanting to see me draw or hearing what I'm talking about. But yeah, that is the big announcement. So yeah. Um but I am going to talk about what I have been doing as of recently. Um I've been playing Bayonetta 1. I know, it's crazy. I never talk about me like playing it often, but if you were to ask me months ago or like over a year ago if I would play Bayonetta again, um, at that time I would look at you like 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 you just like cursed my entire bloodline. But me now, who has been playing Bayonetta 2 for God knows how long, and now I'm actually kind of freaking bored. Not because the game is easy, because it's not easy. It's nowhere near easy at all, but it is easier, but it's still challenging. Um, but I already did all of the achievements. I've done all of the achievements. So you might be wondering, like, oh, so what are you gonna do now? On Bayonetta 1, I'm going to try and get every single achievement. I know, that's a shocker, considering that Bayonetta 1 is the hardest game in the series. second longest, but definitely the hardest. And you might be wondering, how am I going to achieve that? Well, my good friend, I am going to. Well, I've already started my plan, which is play on the easiest mode that it provides and then work my way up. Which means I played on super easy and then slowly working my way up. Once I hit to normal, that's when I'm gonna worry about the alpha limbs, which is basically the mausoleums in Bayonetta 2. But they're both the same thing, they're just worded differently. They are just little side things where you you fight the angels, where it's like, oh, you're fighting against the gods or whatever. But yeah, I've gotten a few achievements. I've gotten like 20 something already. There is 101 achievements in the entire game, which is a lot more than the second game. The second game is only like half. There's only like 50 achievements. But yeah, I think the hardest one to do would be the crows, because a lot of this stuff you 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 can a lot of stuff um you can't do if you're on easy or very easy. It's just not accessible at all. Like getting hearts and pearls, they're not accessible in easy and extra easy or very easy. And the reason why is because the health is long, and it heals by itself. So even if you take a whole lot of damage, you still get healed anyway. Like the game heals you. So I've been playing on easy and super easy so I can get used to the mechanics. Am I used to it? No, but it was fun. I'll tell you that much. Um, am I ready for normal? No, I am not ready for normal. But I looked up there. But I have been looking up some stuff anyway, just so then I know what I'm getting myself into. The one thing I tried to look up, I'll just leave it at two. The one thing I tried to look up was getting all of Antonio's notebooks. And if you don't know who that is, in lore, Antonio is Luca's dad in lore, who died because of Balder, and Antonio was digging too far into um like investigating about the Lumen Sages and the Umbran witches. You know, the left and right eyes. So yeah, and like for those who don't know, the entire game, also spoilers. I mean, I feel like I don't have to say spoilers because it's a very old game. Old game, but I'll say it anyway. Um, Luca follows Bayonetta everywhere because he thinks that she's the one that killed her dad. No, killed his dad. Even though that's not even remotely what happened. And she tells him that it's a misunderstanding, but obviously he doesn't believe her because men. Because men, okay? Um, but yeah. Oh my god. Get away from there. Mm, honestly, when I played Bayonetta 1 on my Switch Lite, it was actually much harder and brutal. Mostly because the buttons are close. And the buttons are already close anyway. Also, I might need to cut my nails again. Well, specifically my thumb, but it's not super long, so I'm not gonna worry about it, I guess. Now, if anyone asks me if I'm ever gonna get a stone, I hope that I will get at least a silver. My goal is to at least get a silver in the normal mode. The thing is, when it comes to Bayonetta 1, is that it punishes you if you use an item, specifically a lollipop, and you get like half of it off. It's really a game about pure skill, and it doesn't. Can you know? Jesus Christ! And it really does not care if you suck. It like even if you have a pure platinum on everything for for some reason, if you used a lot of items for whatever reason, you will be knocked down. You will be knocked down to like a stone. And if you're lucky, if you are lucky, a bronze. Okay? So that's why I am warming myself up. And you might be asking, oh well, are you going to play Bayonetta 1 after stream? Yes. Yes. Now since I've been training myself and Bayonetta 2 for so long, I can confidently say I can redo it again. And before anyone asks, I got gold overall as my grade on super easy. I have like a few platinum trophies, not a whole lot. So you might be wondering, like, oh, so you understand the combos? Well, not quite, because since it's on automatic, I am wearing this thing. I forgot the name is, but basically, if you click it a few times, you do. Um, dang, this is wonky as heck. You do combos automatically, so it's not necessarily the same thing. Because you literally do like even if you try to learn a combo, it's just going to cut you off and make you do a different and easier combo. So all you have to do is worry about dodging. So you can basically use that as like, you know, practice for your dodging. There you go. If anyone asks, I am drawing my Yumi ship. I'm going to explode. So yeah. Mm. Now you might be wondering why I'm playing Bayonetta again, or Bayonetta 1 again, after I said probably months before. to never ask me to play Bayonetta 1 is mostly because I've been eyeing on it for months, and since I basically got all the achievements in Bayonetta 2, which they were still hard, very, very difficult. Not as difficult as they were before, because it didn't take up so much of my time, but they were still quite hard. Um, Now I want a greater challenge. If you ask me if I'm ever gonna play Bayo 3, no. Two reasons: I don't have it, and two, I can't stand it. Oh my god, they're on top of my thing. Stop that. You're just gonna hear their screams all the time. They really like being on windows or tabs that see this? They're just crawling everywhere. Alright. I would never play Bayo 3 because one, I am broke, and two, I don't even like the story of Bayonetta 3. I don't even like it. Bayo 3 was the nail in the coffin that split the entire community up. People who have liked it, like the Bayonetta series since day one, or since Bayonetta 2, is like, what is this? What is this nonsense? If anyone asks me how long I've liked the franchise, since Bayonetta 1, then when I saw an announcement that Bayonetta 2 was coming out, I was losing my marbles. And it looked so much better. And then I realized that it was so much shorter. I feel like that's probably the biggest complaint about the first game, that it was too long. Like, there's a lot of stuff to do, but there's also a lot of stuff to do. Like getting all the achievements and stuff. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I don't see an issue with it. But still, yay. Look, mm, yay. Oh, but anyways, I am pretty stoked about actually like doing Bayonetta 1. Now you're probably gonna wondering, oh, you're just probably gonna have stones. You're gonna stones, probably. But But some of the items that I used to rock with in Bayonetta 2 is actually in Bayonetta 1. Like the rosemary beads. Oh, yes. Absolutely. There's the climax brace, though I won't get that until later or anything else. Um, but still, I am not going to cheat. I'm actually gonna play through the game. And And whenever I tell a person who like plays the same game as me, like playing Bayonetta, I'm like, oh yeah, I got this achievement, and here's me showing proof of me actually like doing it the right way. I mean, there's no wrong way of doing it. It's just I did it without cheats. And some person would be like, oh wow, that's great. Well, I did it with cheats. I'm like, okay, no one asked, but okay. Like, I don't know how you want me to respond to that. Like, you want me to feel like I'm ashamed for actually working hard? Because I feel like, oh my god. Mm, dude, dude, no one cares, man. No one cares. Anyway, so you're probably thinking, like, dude, it's like, you probably wonder, like, oh, dude, it's not like a big deal or whatever. They're just saying how they did it. And I'm like, here's the thing: Bayonetta 2 is is so much easier than Bayonetta 1. Okay, and if I treat Bayonetta 1 similar to how I treat Bayonetta 2 in some aspects, then I might be fine. But I do not like when people tell me that they did a certain thing just by using cheats. I'm like, what do you expect me to say to that? Congratulations for not actually trying? And there was a person I talked to once that was like, yeah, I played against Rodon on the Wii U, but I don't want to do it again, so I just put in the cheats. And I'm like, that's not rewarding. Like, I literally told him, like, dude, I get what you're saying, but I feel like you're trying to make me feel bad. Cause like I was explaining to him that um the reason why I rather do it, like the normal way of how to actually beat him, is because it's genuinely rewarding to do so. It is so rewarding to do so. Like, I don't understand the insanity of ore farming, not ore farming, but like farming for halos, millions and millions of halos, just so then you can get this one thing. At that point, you might as well just freaking play the game. Like, if you're really trying to get so many halos, so then you can try and get one specific item that you can't get the normal way, literally just play the game the normal way. Like, oh my god, just play the freaking game. And like, I know that sounds mean, that sounds harsh, but like, I feel like people don't understand that you're not obligated to beat Rodon. You're not obligated to do any of the achievements. Doing the achievements because you feel like it is more rewarding rather than you required to do so. But I feel like using cheats in Bayonetta, like trying to farm for halos, is a waste of time. You might as well just play the game. Just play the game normally. Like, come on. Are you actually a Bayonetta fan if you're just gonna cheat the entire time? Like, I get it if you have, like, some accessories, like some accessories that, like, makes it easier. I ain't talking about that. It's part of the game. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about just punching arrows because you want a certain thing. I don't get that. I got everything in Bayonetta 2 by just playing the game. And Bayonetta 2 is so much easier than Bayonetta 1, but I'm not gonna use cheats just so that I can get those. It just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel rewarding. I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking out of my cheeks or something. But I genuinely feel like if you truly love a game and not just getting the achievements just because you can, you shouldn't just use cheats. I feel like you shouldn't. There's no reason in doing so. I defeated Rodon twice. And the first time when I defeated Rodon, it was actually a minute faster than 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 than, than my second time of beating him. My first time beating him was on my broken Switch Lite. I say broken because of the white thing that's supposed to cover the left node stick thing, the joystick thing, has been peeled off because I play aggressively, and the same thing is about to happen with my Switch OLED. Oops. Yeah, I play pretty aggressively. Um, but on my Switch OLED, I got like 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I mean, I didn't even expect myself to win at all when I actually beat him. Because when I did beat him, I was just messing around. Okay, like I knew I could beat him, but like I was just messing around. Okay, I knew exactly how to beat him. I knew when to attack, and I knew what accessories to actually use against him. Now, when I tell people of what accessories that I use, there are some Bayonetta fans that are like, "Oh well, I use this," or "Oh, I can't believe you're dodging so much. Like I can't stand dodging." I'm like, bro, Bayonetta fans are so insufferable. Oh, oh my god. I mean, people from any fandom is extremely insufferable, but especially Bayonetta fans. I swear, no, no, go away. I don't care. Talking to a Bayonetta fan is like you have two different options. Either A, they're really nice and they're kind, and sometimes they disagree with you, and that's 100% okay. Or, or they're just trying and whatever, and I'm just like, okay. The tactics that I use to defeat Rodan is something that I saw on the internet. Um, I use Rosa, the strongest and weakest character at the same time in the game. You might be wondering, strongest and weakest character? How, 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 how could she be strong and weak? She is strong because her, her guns is powerful. You know how Scarborough Fair is like really strong? Think of it like that, but twice as much. So within one hit, Rosa can like one tap or two tap a regular enemy. And she is really fast. Noelle, not you, Noelle. I'm talking about the other Noelle. Noelle, get down from there. When it comes to like a boss, like or like a mini boss, she can literally like two tap him. Well, not two tap him, but like literally get rid of him within like 2 seconds. Like, come on. And she's also the weakest because her defense is trash. Her defense is horrible, and that was by design. Actually, I did not think about Domina's earrings. Do I even? It's not even in here as a ref. Oh, Philly. I know it's in here. I just gonna remember what I named it. Okay. I know I did not delete it because I need it. And here it is. There we go. Finally found it. Anyway, she is the weakest character because she has zero defense. Two two tap and you're gone. Okay. I do not like fighting with John. John is stronger than Bayonetta, but she's only stronger in her Wicked Weave, and it's very hard to unlock her witch time. actually a lot harder. To unlock her witch time, you have to be picture perfect. Okay, so that's why I'm like, yeah, no, I don't like it. That's why I just play as Bayonetta. Now, I'm trying to get used to all the other weapons. The weapons in the first and second game aren't the same. Oh, sorry about that. The weapons in the first and second game aren't the same. Now there is some weapons that did carry over. But yeah, I think my least favorite weapon in Bayonetta 2 is the large hammer. I actually hate that hammer. I'm not gonna lie. I hate that stupid hammer. But I think my favorite would be the bow and arrow, the one with the bugs. Yeah, that was my favorite. I like the sound. It doesn't do massive damage, but it does make it easier to damage them though, to damage the enemies. I like how 1 and 2 just come together as games while also being their own respective games. And you're probably wondering, is that why you don't like AL3? Not necessarily. I knew Bayonetta 3 was going to be its own game, but I wish they just left it at Bayonetta 2 instead of making a third game. And you might be wondering, why? I don't understand. It was going to be in the works. The reason why I do not um I do not wanted to have Bayonetta 3 because in lore the eyes of the world is destroyed. In lore, the eyes of the world, the power has been destroyed in the second game. So yeah, it literally was destroyed in the second game. So I didn't know how that was going to tie into the third game where it introduces the multiverse. To which I have more questions about that. How does the multiverse ties in into the eyes of the world? How does that even tie in? And apparently, a friend of mine who plays Bayonetta 3 told me that all of our major questions that we had is literally in the pages, which is silly because the pages are meant to explain more about the world building and not about the actual and not about the actual lore. Basically, it's like you expect a creator to talk about fun things on like Tumblr instead of talking about the more important stuff that should have been in a show. Goose words. But yeah, that kind of is what it feels like. If people have to search to get answers about things that should already be in the game, that's stupid. That's really dumb. So yeah. Plus, I never liked the idea of Viola being their kid or them having a kid at all. Them, as in Bayonetta and Luca, though Viola is from a different universe entirely, but still. But apparently, a friend of mine, well, a mutual, not necessarily a friend, but a mutual told me that Viola, well, them having a kid was hinted at since day one, since the beginning of the game, and ever since she said that, which was like a long time ago. Now since I'm playing the game, now I'm actually like looking at it critically and seeing like, okay, yes, as them having a kid is kind of foreshadowing because of the way that they both treat her younger self, but I don't fully agree with it. But yeah, that's only because I saw Bayonetta as a teen, you know, the age that I wasn't technically supposed to see it at anyway. But anyway, um, now I'm like paying a close attention to every small thing in both games. Do I believe Lucas should be with Bayonetta? No. Out of all people that Bayonetta should have been with, I feel like she should either be with John or be on her own. And it's not because I don't like the ship. I could care less. Their ship doesn't make sense. And you're probably wondering, but Ice, that is ridiculous. How could that ever be a thing? I don't understand. Is because Luca literally objectifies her. Like even when he subtly liked her, he also objectifies this woman. It's basically like when you have a guy friend and you are a woman or a fab and you have a guy friend who thinks very disgusting of you, but he's not gonna say anything. But he expects you to give him, you know, you know, you know what I'm saying? And you don't want to because you view each other as friends. Yeah, basically like that. And I'm not saying that chemistry is all you need for love and a relationship. Chemistry is the starter pack of a relationship. And bro was just being weird the entire time. He was just being gross the entire time. Now, am I angry for that? Yes, kind of. But this was like in the early 2000s. This was like, what, 2009 when it came out, and it like flopped. It was ahead of its time. Bayonetta is ahead of its time. I mean, the original game, not the franchise. But yeah, I think Luca as a character should have just stayed as a comedic relief and not like some sort of romantic interest. Even though it was hinted at, I still don't believe that they should have been together. I don't care about your ad. I don't care about your product. I don't care. Shoot, I cannot do this anymore. Go away. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I believe that they should have never gotten together because there's no reason for them to get together. Bayonetta has more chemistry and love and everything else that you would need in a relationship from John. And I'm not and don't think that I am one of those like fans that think like, oh, Bayonetta should have been a lesbian. Listen. I think we should headcanon her however we want. I'm headcanon her as bisexual. Personally, I'm headcanon her as bisexual. Not because like, oh, I want her to be gay. No, I think she could be with a man. I think she could also be with a woman. I think she could be with a non-binary person. I don't think she has a preference for anybody. I don't think she cares. You know, like I don't really think she cares all that much. Plus she's a free spirit. She is a free spirit. I don't really care. Do I think Bayonetta should have been a lesbian? I don't know. I could see her be a lesbian. I mean, Noel, get down from there. Stop that. They always like to get on top of my screen. They like to mess with my things all the time. Do not worry, I am not mad about it. I just find it hilarious. Because whenever I do move my screen, they scream every time and they fall over. And they act like there's just a freaking earthquake. Anyway, I do not expect. I do not expect Bayonetta to have an actual canonical orientation. And then I feel like people who want her to be straight is just as insufferable as the people who want her to be lesbian. I don't care if Bayonetta is straight or lesbian. If Bayonetta is straight, I would be devastated because I'm like her straight. Okay, buddy. While she's actively been flirting with her friend for God knows how long. Okay, buddy. Alright. But then you'd be like, oh, she's a lesbian. Her? A lesbian? When she can also flirt with Luca? I mean, she flirts with everybody. She flirts with everybody. She be taunting people left, right, front, and center. I don't think she's either one of those. Like I saw a meme once on Pinterest, and I thought it was absolutely hilarious. It was a picture that someone drew. Actually, I might need to make another player. Color back. Where someone made this meme of the Bayonetta franchise, and it's everyone like arguing about Bayonetta's canon sex sexuality. You have like the lesbians, you have like the straight other people who say that she's bi. I'm one of the people that says that she's bi. And then you have one of the people that says that she's pan. And then yeah, I find that hilarious because she canonically doesn't even have an actual sexuality. She doesn't have a canon sexuality. And I find that absolutely hilarious. I don't be in fandoms anyway because I hate fandoms. I think fandoms are deplorable. And I know what 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 you're gonna say. But Ice, you post about fandom stuff. Well, not fandom stuff, but like you post about games and Yumi ships. Of course it's going to attract that. Like, yeah, I know. But doesn't mean I like it though. I absolutely hate. I absolutely hate fandoms. I hate fandoms. Like I'm not even lying. Fandoms are the most deplorable thing on the internet since the first day it has ever been created. I know what you're thinking, but ice is not like a big deal because like you can be like like like-minded people, and that is the exact problem. That is the exact issue with it. When it comes to people liking the same thing as you do, you would think they're like minded, but no, not even remotely close. Some of them are misogynist, some of them are racist, some of them will argue day and night all the time just so that they can prove to you that they are 100% better than you and have more knowledge than you. Or you have people on the opposite end who are absolutely insane. That is like, yeah, this person did nothing wrong. Now, this is a reference to Korra, to Avatar, The Legend of Korra. Okay, it's a reference to that, where there's one end, there's one extreme end, where it's like Korra, Korra did everything wrong and blah blah blah. It's all Korra's fault. Korra is trash. And then you have the opposite end that's like Korra did nothing wrong. She didn't do anything wrong. Oh my god, Korra is precious baby. She could do no wrong. I could see both sides, but at the same time, I don't. I'm gonna name this White. There we go. Now, when it comes to Korra, I don't blame her for trusting her uncle because he was a renowned leader in the Northern Tribe, and Korra was sheltered. And she acts the way she does because, again, she is sheltered. But I'm not going to pretend that Korra is a saint. Just like how I'm not going to pretend that Aang is a saint. Now, mind you, all of these people are teens. Okay, watching this as a kid, I was a very underdeveloped teen. Well, I wasn't even a teen. I was just a kid. Like I was under the age of 10, and I just didn't like Korra because of how cocky she was. But I didn't really have the word for it, because I was under the age of 10 or under the age of like 15 in general. But now, since I'm an adult, I can rethink on those and look back at it again and confidently say, no, I still don't like her. I don't hate her though. I want people to understand that. I don't hate Korra. And I never hated Korra. There's one character that I do not like more than me not liking Korra, and that is Katara. I know what you're thinking, but Katara is amazing. How could you not like Katara? It's because of the fact that um her 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 anger, her pent up anger was against the Fire Nation, and that is valid. But she also pretends to be this lovely saint when she could kill you. That's what I didn't like. Like she knows and you know, we all know, she could kill you with her water bending. Why? Because her water bending is insane. She's a prodigy. She's a freaking prodigy. She's good. And she always aims for the kill, and yet she turns around and pretends like, oh, everything is fine. No, it's not. She's trying to kill you because she's that good. I'm not saying she's a fraud. She's not a fraud. She's goaded. She stopped the rain. She can use blood bending, but chooses not to because that goes against her her her. I can't even think of the freaking word. I would say like her teachings, like the water bending teachings. Like it goes against her character, and I'm not mad about that because blood bending is a literal physical manipulation. So yeah, I don't blame Katara for not doing that, but I do blame her for just being fake. And yes, I know she's a kid. I know that. I know that all these characters that people are like straight up not anger, but just being mad about and complaining over, all of them are just kids. Like freaking Korra is 17 years old, bro. Korra is 17. Aang is 12. I mean, if we want to get all the technicality, 112. But he is still 12 mentally. Okay, he is still freaking 12. Katara is 13. I think the oldest in the group is Zuko, who is like 15. I think? Question mark? Oh, and last week I did watch the new uh, 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 Avatar movie. The go away. I don't like it. I don't hate it, but I don't like it. I don't like it though. You might be wondering why. Because it's kind of trash. Okay, it's kind of trash. Just a little. Literally, Aang could have solved his issues of not having airbenders just by literally hooking up with Katara. She's right there, bro. You don't need to go to the staff. The only reason why you would go to the staff is so that you can stop the denied. And that is fine. But you don't need to be doing all that. You don't need to be doing all that. And Tyga, the villain, saying that, like, yeah, we're never going to be equal because somebody wants to take over something, which is true. Because, spoiler alert, in the movie, the airbenders were wiped because of the earthbenders, right? Just like how, like, the Fire Nation took over. Well, no, just how the Fire Nation wiped out the airbenders. And there wasn't even that many airbenders to begin with. And instead of Osonum making an army to, protect what's left, she said, no. She said, no. And just like hit it. Tyga found it and decided to make army for to protect his people. Like, I get it, it's not part of the ways of the airbending, but I feel like at some point you gotta protect yourself. Like, you have to protect yourself because just because someone else is violent doesn't mean you have to turn the cheek all the time. Like, that's not how it works. That is literally not how it works. And for Aang telling Katara that she doesn't know what he go through, and Katara not fighting back was actually kind of annoying. Cause I'm like, okay, I feel like out of all the people here, Katara knows exactly how Aang feels, and she also relates to Taiga at the same time. Walk with me here. In the movie, Taiga saw all his airbender brothers and sisters die in war, right? Do you know who else have seen the exact same thing in war? Well, not in war, but like something similar to that. Katara, when she was a kid, all of the waterbenders, all the waterbenders in the South Pole was was white, right? All of them, just straight up white. By 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 the firebenders because don't want to risk to have another avatar without them realizing that the avatar is still alive anyway. The avatar is still alive anyway. So she witnessed her people who are waterbenders getting white. Okay? And you want to say that Katara doesn't know anything about losing her own people? She's seen it when she was a kid. She was right there. And then her father went to war. Bro gone. Bro gone. Not 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 only she lost like both of her parents, she also lost her people. Like, she relates to Taya more than Aang because literally Aang ran away. Yeah, he was like what? He was young. He was young. He did not know he was the Avatar until like way later, and he didn't want to take on the responsibility. And I don't blame him for that. He is a kid. It's not like he understood what that even means, right? And I don't blame him. I don't even completely blame him anyway. If there's anyone to blame, is Avatar Roku, because the avatars before you have created so much like bad bad choices for the future avatars. Create so much stuff that the future avatars actually have to like um have to fix and stuff. And I'm like, this is nonsense. Because what do you mean that I have to fix something that 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 the previous avatar did? This is just nonsense. I don't want to do all that. I feel like being an avatar and the shows would be horrible because everyone will bring up that, oh, you are the avatar, right? Please, you have to protect my family and whatever. Or God forbid if you're similar to Korra, who accidentally like put herself into everything, even though in her current time there is like police officers and like more advanced technology, and at that time they didn't need an avatar because they didn't need one at that specific time. But then when they absolutely needed her, she can't bend, which is not really her fault because again her bending was taken away from her. She couldn't do anything. She literally couldn't do anything even if she tried. And then she eventually got her bending back. Okay. So, my question to you is, would you ever be a freaking avatar? I would not be an avatar. I cannot be an avatar. I mean, I thought about it once or twice if I would like to be, but no. I hate ads. I hate ads. Get me out of here, bro. Get me out! Get me out of this internal prison! There. So yeah. Um though if anyone asks me how I feel about Korra, I don't like or hate Korra. I don't like her, but I don't hate her either. I see her rationally, and I'm just like, oh, okay. And the things that people hate her for, it's not even an actual reason. You can hate Korra with an actual good reason. And people who defends her 100% just say that, oh, well, you are just a misogynist for hating Korra. You can hate a female character without being misogynistic. I'm not saying that it is impossible to not be misogynistic, or that every time when you do hate a female character it is being misogynist. I'm saying that in this certain case, not every single last one of them. Yes, there is like majority of them that are misogynist, because some of them be like, oh, I love Toph and Kyoshi, and I'm like, but you could also still be a misogynist because Kyoshi, if you ever read her books, I never did, but according to people who have, she is basically the exact same thing as Cora, like dating all her friends and all that other stuff. And I didn't really think much of it. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I don't see how that's like the worst thing in the world, because I still don't think it's the worst thing in the world. No, stop that. Shading 3. Sorry, there's like something that's underneath my thing. Ow. Anyway, so yeah, and and apparently some people only like Toph when she expresses her masculinity and not her being feminine. I mean, I don't get it. I don't really care if Toph is masculine or feminine, because Toph is Toph. And I like Toph. She's not my favorite character. I like her a lot. My favorite character is Azula. I I know. Really, Azula? Psh, poser, larper. Okay, let me explain why I like Azula. Not that anyone cares, but I'll explain anyway. The reason why I like Azula because I relate to her in some form of level. Her parents has let her down and Zuko down, pinning both of them against each other because Ozai is the main culprit of of everything that went on inside of that household. Okay, having the two siblings pin on each other, Cor- Azula literally being extremely you know talented and you know good at firebending. She is literally the only character who has blue fire, the hottest fire. She is the only one who has blue fire. That is a very strong feat. Okay. And then you have Zuko, who's also talented, but he has to work hard. And their mom treated Azula like she was a monster. But, you know, she's a kid, and her being a teenager at the time, I will confidently say this. Azula's not a monster. She is mentally not okay, but she's not a monster. I wouldn't even say that she's. I mean, I guess she would technically be sheltered, but not in the same way that Korra is. But she doesn't have very good social interactions because what people drives to Azula is fear, because Azula thinks that fear is power, fear is royalty. If you make people scared of you long enough, they will come back to you whenever you need them. To which that is not how that works. Fear only works for a short amount of time and it will never give you actual loyalty. And that is something that she learned at the end when Katara beat her again for the cajillionth time. When Azula was losing it because she was losing it. She had she had the throne, she had the title, but her dad did not you need her anymore. And she had come to the terms to realize that she wasn't needed anymore, and that's why she was losing it. But Azula is my favorite character, and I relate to Azula to some degree. The manipulation and everything else, being treated like the golden child. So I never was treated like the golden child ever, but I was being treated like I was on a pedestal, like I was gonna be someone someday. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That is the end of stream. Well, not the end, but for the people who are watching my VODs, we have this thing called a sacred ritual. Excuse me, Noel. I show you my speed paint at the end, so people won't think that this is traced or I stole it from anywhere, or people think that my art has been stolen, which I don't know why people would steal this. Here is the proof that it is mine. There we go. I will see you whenever I see you again. Bye.